Namaskar and welcome in this MNTV's interaction program. I'm Bhimsen Sapkota. I would like to introduce Swami Arun in this interaction program. He is also a coordinator of Osho Tapoban in Nepal, and he is one of the prominent figure in the spiritual realm, and he has written many books and many scriptures, and also he is one of the great researchers in the field of spiritual world. And he also spent his 3 decades of his time to practice the spirituality, and he is preaching and practicing these things in his life. And I would like to introduce with Swami Arun. Welcome, Swami Arun.
Thank you, Sanji.
Okay, so how is going your trip in Australia?
So far, it's going well. I'm enjoying my stay here.
Okay. Normally that yogi and saint people, they practice themselves in a silence place, in a quiet place, and when they get elder, when their the practice reaches in a higher level, they don't travel much, they practice themselves. But you traveling around the world, and don't it affect your own spiritual practice?
It affects when you travel, your routine. You cannot maintain your schedule and cannot maintain your routine. So that I will agree that it affects. But Bhimsenji, you see that when Buddha was not enlightened, he sat under a tree and meditated for 6 years. When he attained enlightenment, then he could not stay under the tree. Then he started traveling and traveled for 45 years around the North India to spread his message. So his routine was also disturbed because he was at that time traveling was a problem. He used to travel on foot, and there was not much facility. Now I travel in a plane, and I have everywhere people come to receive me, So I have not that difficulty which Buddha has faced. But you just consider why he traveled for 45 years constantly, except the Varshavas. 3 months of rainy season he was staying at one place. Otherwise 9 months he was constantly traveling. Because it is not enough to get the message. Once you have a message, then your compassion compels you to spread the message. And especially this time is a critical time. If we cannot raise the consciousness of large number of people, this civilization has reached to a dead end. And there will be great violence and the possibility of another war. So my master inspires me in my meditation to spread meditation and make people conscious as far as I can.
Okay. So Buddha, he started to travel the world after his enlightenment. So it means like, have you experienced the enlightenment, or how far you are, or how close you are to the enlightenment? Can you share us your experience?
No, there is no compare between Buddha and me. Buddha is a great soul, great master, and I am still a seeker and a student of meditation. So I don't want to compare in that way. But I have also meditated in this life for 30 years in the forest, in Tapovan and in Nepal, and with my master in Pune ashram and in Oregon. So 30 years constantly I was practicing meditation day in the morning and evening. So I have also gained some experience in meditation, although I am not fully awakened. I should agree that I am not fully enlightened, but I have also attained some experience in meditation. I have attained some height in meditation, and the time is critical. I cannot wait. Especially my master cannot wait for my final enlightenment, because those who can see, they can see that the time is running short and destruction is coming very close. So if within a very short time, if we cannot make the world little bit conscious, little bit aware, and spread meditation and compassion on a larger scale, then destruction is coming. There will be mass destruction, and there may be another war, or there may be terrorism at a very large scale. So those, anybody who has a compassion will not sit silently. Even if it is troublesome and it disturbs your routine, but when you see that lot of people are going to suffer, and they are suffering already, and if your compassion, your love compels you to travel. So at this age, I travel 6 months in a year. I have so far covered 20 countries for spiritual purpose, and I have visited few other countries just as a tourist in the beginning years. But now I travel only for a spiritual purpose, and every month, almost every month, I travel for 2-3 weeks. You are right, it disturbs my routine, it disturbs my meditation, but it helps thousands of people.
So if somebody asks you that how close you are to the experience of enlightenment, what are the stages or what sort of feeling you gain when you are close to that self-realization state? So can you share us those things that you experienced, that you have experienced?
I told you that the meditation is a field where you can never say that you have achieved everything. You are always remain a student. How so far you reach, you are always remain a student. The meditation begins, but it never ends. So you can see that even Shiva or Buddha statue you will see them always in meditation. So one can ask that Buddha has attained ultimate nirvana, but still why he is meditating? And Shiva is the master of Devadhipati Dev, the master of master. Why he is always in, you see the Shiva temple, Shiva posture, he is always in meditation. So meditation begins, but it never ends. And you can never say that you have finished meditation. You are always remain a student, like music. You can never say that I have nothing more to learn. As a musician, whole life you have to practice. The more you practice, more melodious you can sing, more magic you can create. But you will have to learn whole life. Every great magician practice music for more than 12 hours a day. Like Bismillah Khan or Ravi Shankar, they used to practice sitar and violin and Sahnai more than 12 hours a day. They were master. They were the best musician of their time, but still they were practice. So in a meditation, you are always a student, and I am also a student, and I am learning meditation every day. Although whatever I have learned, it becomes my duty to share with my fellow travelers.
I would like to add about the sex prospection that also Allah used to talk, and he denied to get married, and he also said like sex, we cannot suppress the sex desire. That means like you are not ready to marry, but you can enjoy the sex life. And well, this is the good and new concept, but in our culture, in the Eastern culture, in Vedic culture, or in that area, so in our society, can it digest easily? If it cannot digest, how can the philosophy and practice, if cannot go together, how can we justify it is a successful practice?
Vimsenji, sex is a very sensitive matter, and it is very touchy also. People don't want to touch, especially the religious people, spiritual master, they don't want to talk about sex. No, they are afraid of talking about sex. Osho is the only master who has dared to address this problem, because sex is a greatest motivation. It is a greatest pleasure for a householder, for any ordinary person who are not very advanced in meditation. For them, sex is the greatest pleasure, and at the same time, sex is the greatest problem. For people who are married and who are unmarried, for both of them, it is a problem. Relationship is always a problem, and sex needs relationship. You have to relate with others for sex, no? And relating with others creates a lot of problem, because other person is another world. When you marry somebody and bring your wife, to your house, you are bringing another world to your house, because she has her own pet thinking, she has her own liking and disliking, and she has her own way of living. So actually when two people live in a house, two worlds live in a house.
It is saying that if somebody enlightened, they can born according to their wish and desire, where they would like to born, which family or which place they can choose. So, do you have any desire to have another birth, or where would you like to get birth, or do you have that sort of any condition or anything? Would you like to share us, please?
First thing I would like to tell you that most of the enlightened people who have attained enlightenment, they will never like to be born again, because life is a painful experience. Howsoever you live, there are limitations. You have to fall sick, your body will fall sick, you will get old, you will get disease, and also there will be failures in life. And howsoever you live, the frustration and failure is bound to come. So enlightened people don't want to take another life. Why people take life? When they have some desire, some longing, some lust, that compels you to take another body. So as long as we are not free from lust, vasana, iksha, kamna, as long as we are not free from the jiveshna, we got it, libido, the desire to live. So as long as we have desire to live, the soul will take another body. It continues. So it is not people's hand. If they say that I don't want to take life, it is not in their hand. If they are not enlightened, they will have to take birth. With enlightened people, there is a freedom. If just before the enlightenment, if one desire to take one more life, that also he has to make sankalpa, determination, before attaining to fully enlightened. After fully enlightened, you can't do anything, because your all karma is burned and your lust is gone to live. So it is very difficult to maintain body after enlightenment. Even physical body start getting packing to go. No, does not want to live in this world. This world looks so too attractive to us because we are non-enlightened and we don't see the misery of the world. Enlightened people does not want to live in this world. Most of the people, I will tell you, Bhimsenji, most of the people become enlightened at the time of death. Majority of people. That's why we don't know about them, because after enlightenment they don't serve the humanity, they don't talk. So we don't know, like many Buddha disciples, they became enlightened at the time of death. Some became enlightened before death. Like Osho disciples also are becoming enlightened at the time of death. Because time of death is a very critical moment, very dramatic moment. When you are leaving your body, you are leaving all relationship, you are leaving all possession. At that time, if you have meditated and live a spiritual life, you can drop your ego also. Because you are dropping your wife, your children, your finance, your possession, your body, everything you have to leave before death. So that moment is very, very critical and dramatic moment. So if somebody has meditated in a life and has gained some awareness and some courage, he can drop the ego. Otherwise it's very difficult to drop the ego. We are talking this after also. It's very difficult to drop the ego. And without dropping ego, you cannot become enlightened. That's the only barrier. So at the time of death, if you can you can collect the courage, and if you have a master, that master will also help you. Guru will help you. So if you can drop the ego, you can become enlightened. So that's why majority of people become enlightened at the time of death. So world does not know about them. They attain truth, but they die and they remain free. But world does not, can't help the humanity. A very small portion of people who has meditated in their previous life and whose nervous system is so strong that their nervous system can take the current of enlightenment, because it's like our nervous system has been designed to take 220 volt. Suppose, your wire is designed to take 220 volt, and if you pass 11,000 volt, what will happen? It will burn.
Well, Swamiji, you said when you experience the enlightenment, people, they don't want to come again and rebirth back. But in Bhagavad Gita it says that yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. That means like when the society needs, when the country needs the Krishna Tattva, the Krishna consciousness, he will born again to give the justice, to fulfill the desire of the society. So, is it true? Can it be happen?
Yes, it is true. Whatever written in Gita is true. But our understanding is not true. What we understand out of that. People think that whenever there will be crisis, the Krishna will come with Gada and Chakra and he will kill the evils and establish the religion. That's not true. But the people like Krishna, people of Krishna consciousness or enlightened consciousness, or people like Buddha or Jesus or Muhammad or Ramakrishna Paramahansa or Osho will come. They used to come. They are all Krishna consciousness. They are all equivalent to all enlighteneds are alike in some way. So enlightened people will be born whenever there is a need and when there is a crisis, but not the same person. Same person cannot. Krishna cannot be born again because he has fulfilled his karma and there is no desire left in him. So he has finished his task. He is helping. He can help humanity even without the body. He is still helping. He is helping me also to run the commune. He helps a lot of seekers of the path. But there is no need for him and it is not possible for him to take another body. For body you need desire. You need passion. Without passion you cannot take body. So their passion is finished. Their desire is finished. So they cannot take body. I was talking a very high truth to you. Your questions are also very superior quality. So people can take one birth if they take a sankalpa before final enlightenment. Suppose I have not attained final nirvana. I have just realized the self. So one stage is still. So before attaining to the nirvana, if I take this sankalpa, because I am running a center, I have initiated over 65,000 people in Nepal and few thousand people around the world. Altogether there are 80,000 people I have initiated. So if I have a compassion and if I think that my work is not finished and it cannot be happened without me, so if I take a great sankalpa that I have to come to help my people, to help my commune, then is a freedom to me. I can take one more life. But that decision I have to take before nirvana. After nirvana you cannot help. Then you can paddle the cycle as long as you are on the cycle can move. No? Mm-hmm. Once you have got down from the cycle, you cannot paddle it. So you cannot create desire. So after nirvana, it is not possible. But before nirvana, a seeker can take a sankalp that I have to come back to finish my job, finish my work. Then he can take one more life. For that life also he has to save some desire. Mm-hmm. Like Ramakrishna kept the desire of eating to maintain in the body. Just to remain in the body you need some desire. Otherwise you cannot remain in the body. Even enlightened people has to hold something. They have to create some desire. Without desire you cannot remain in the body. The consciousness will become free. So my master hold the desire of talking to the people, helping the people, initiating people, running the commune. So he continued few days. Ramakrishna just created a desire, that desire of food. He was very, very much fond of food. So he always wanted to go and see in the kitchen what is being cooked. So with that desire, he continued in the body for some time. So you need passion to live, no?
Mm-hmm.
So without passion, without desire, without vasana,
Mm-hmm.
body is not possible. So I have a freedom. If I like, I can keep some desire for next life and I can take one more life. But the way I am seeing the life, I am totally experience all the pleasures and failures, pain and pleasure of life. And I see the futility of human body. So most likely I will not take another body. Or there is only one case before my final enlightenment, because I am a disciple and I have to follow my master. If my master orders me, then no, you have to come, you have to, because your work is unfinished and there is no other person to finish the job. So you have to come back once more. If there is a command from my master, then I will come once again. For my sake, I will not come. I am finished with this world. I have seen this world and this full world. I have experienced all the pleasures, all the joy and all the failures. So I am totally satisfied and there is no need to come back for me.
Well, when the spiritual knowledge, if there is a spiritual knowledge with the political leaders of the leader of the society, they can lead the society more fairly without any corruption. And in Nepal's context, or even the present society in the world, there is a less people with the spiritual knowledge in the leadership. So if the society needed, if the people ask, if the society needs that, please Arun Swami, you have to born as a political leader to give the good conduct. So will you accept and will you be a political leader for next life?
For a religious person, to be in a politics is a torture. It may be pleasure for worldly people because lot of people is after you, media is after you, and you wherever you go, you collect the crowds. They are attracted toward politics because when they see big crowd, they think they are a great personality. And when you have power, the media is after you, the crowd is after you. So you think you are a great personality. No? But anybody who needs peace, who needs silence, who needs time to study, who needs time for meditation, who is a lover of music, will not go in politics, because in politics you don't have time for all these things. You don't have time to enjoy music, you don't have time to meditate, you don't have time to spend with your friends and your beloved. So any lover, any poet, any great poet, or any great musician will not like to go into politics. Politics is for mediocre mind.
But directly and indirectly, the politics is connected with every society, no matter spiritual organization or person, because he is interlinked with the political law and the constitution of the country. So if there is a fair person, the society can be fair, isn't it?
You are right, Bhimsenji, you are very right. I can understand your concern. Unfortunately, the system has evolved in such a way that politician has all the power. And power-hungry people are attracted towards politics because in politics there is all the power. Mm-hmm. In a better society and in a developed country like Australia or Canada, in America, the politics is losing interest. People are after money. They want to make money. They want to become big millionaire, businessman, or they want to become famous by singing song, because a singer and a sportsman can also earn lot of money and lot of admirers. No? The media is after a sportsman and film actor and actress. So because wherever the things run in a system, like I go to Western country, Europe and America every year to spread Osho vision, what I see that if you are not interested in politics and you don't know politician, still you can have a life in the American society or British society or French society or Australia if you don't know the politician. But in Nepal, if you don't know any politician, you cannot get even telephone connection to your house. You will not, for a small thing you need political support. No? If you want to a water connection, you need somebody who knows who you know in politics, if you phone, it will come in one day, otherwise it will take 1 year. No? So in a poor country like Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, everybody is after politician because they have all the powers. No? They can change your fate. No? They can make ordinary person an ambassador. They can make an ordinary person vice chancellor. So they have all the powers. No? But where there is a system and law and things, rule of law is there. Even if you don't know any politician, you can have and maintain your life. You cannot become super rich. For becoming super rich, you may need some political connection. But you can have fairly good life in Australia, even if you don't know. But there are a lot of my friends who live here in Australia. They don't bother about politics. They bother about their profession. They bother about money, you know. So, in a country where there is a rule of law and there is a system function, even if you are not interested in politics, you can maintain your life. Like country like I mentioned, poor country like Pakistan, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, if you don't know politician, you cannot admit your son in a good college. Everywhere the political source is needed. It is unfortunate. It should be changed. The politician should be functional, like a railway station master or postmaster, or like a police constable. They have some function to do. So they should be just functional. They should not hold so much power and so much influence. We have given undue respect to politics and undue importance to the politics. That's why everybody attracted in politicians. Doctors also want to go into politics. Engineers also want to go into politics. Businessmen donating millions of rupees, they want to be nominated into the upper house. You know? Just to become join politics, people from all the profession, even the film actor want to be in politics. In India, in Nepal, in a country like that. But in a good society.
So you said that spiritual master have got the power to guide you, to send their disciple to born. If that's the situation, why don't they send one of the good disciple as a political leader or with a good spirituality, like Mahatma Gandhi and some other political leader who really act as like a fair person?
You see, look at the life of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi struggled whole life for freedom of India. Once India became free, he come out from the politics. He never came into power, and he said that even the Congress party should be dissolved and there should be no politics, and he was not interested in becoming Prime Minister or President of India. No? Even you see Nepal, Ganesh Man Singh, the same thing happened. Ganesh Man was a commander for the freedom, 46th movement. No? And you see, there were good people in Nepalese politics and also in Indian politics. There are still good people in both Nepalese politics and Indian politics. But if you observe minutely, carefully, you will watch that a good soul, they were never successful in politics. Like Ram Manohar Lohia, a great socialist leader. He has a vision, he has a philosophy. He could never become Prime Minister of India, or never become even Minister of India. Jayaprakash Narayan, a great soul who has a lot of compassion for Nepal also, who helped in Nepalese movement also. He never came to power. No? Although he led the movement many times. He was leader of movement many times, but he could never go into the power. No? So many good people, Kriplani, many good people in Indian politics, I know they were very good soul, but they were never successful in power politics. In Nepal also, I can tell you, Shailja Acharya, once she became minister for a few months, then she has to resign because she gave a true statement. She said that even in my agricultural ministry, there is a corruption. That was a fact, a straight fact. But she has to resign. Rizal asked her to resign because she was saying that in my own ministry there is a corruption. It was true statement. But she became minister just for once, and then she had to resign, and she never came into power again because she was honest.
Is that because of she did not get opportunity, or she has got some spiritual honesty?
No,
or something?
Honesty is a disqualification in politics. I tell you. I tell you an example. When in a previous context, when Deopaji was Prime Minister and he needed support of Member of Parliaments, so he gave a toy to Member of Parliaments. He said that all Member of Parliament can buy car without paying tax free, Pajero or any imported car. You know the major portion of the price goes in tax. In Nepal, the tax is up to 300% for car. So when MP were given opportunity to buy car without paying tax, everybody rushed. Only 12 people in Nepalese politics, they didn't accept this offer. They say it is a state robbery, or it is a state is trying to give us ghush. No? It is not justified that we should accept anything from the state just to save the Prime Minister. So 12 people refused. I tell you some name. Shailaji was one. She was leader. Pradeep Giri was one. Narhari Charles was one. Bhimsen, Nepali Congress, Bhim Bahadur Tamang was one. And there were other, I don't remember all this name, it is in my diary. So there were 12 people who refused this ghush, pure ghush from the government. I thought I had a great respect for all these 12 people because most of the member of parliament, they purchased the car and they sold it, most of them, and they made good money out of it, 2 million rupees, 3 million rupees, they made out of it. But these 12 people suffered, they didn't take the advantage. I thought the people will reward them, people will reward the honest politician. But I will tell you, Bhimsenji, out of these 12, 5 didn't get seat in the next election. Their party didn't give them seat to fight election. And 7 who fought, all of them lose the election. That it is political bribe. Government is trying to bribe them. So they didn't accept this favor. And among them were Bhimba, Tamang, Selja Achal, Pradeep Giri, Narhari Achal, and there were other people. So out of those 12 people who were honest, I had a great regard for all those people who didn't accept this bribe. 5 of them in next election, I thought they will win with great vote because people will appreciate their honesty. But people are blind, people are unconscious. So out of the 12, 5 didn't get ticket for the fighting election because they were honest. And 7 who fought election, they all lost. They could not win. No? So people does not remember these things, and people don't appreciate honesty. Anybody who can distribute money to the voters, there are leaders, no? The Naike, in the village, in every village there is some leader who takes money and guarantee that this much vote I can give you from my village. So nowadays, if you have to fight an election, you need crores of rupees. In India, in Nepal, in Bangladesh, in Pakistan, if you don't have crores of rupees, you cannot fight election. And from where that crore of rupees will come? Because if you save all your money which a state gives you in a 5-year term or 4-year term, you will not collect 1 crore rupees. And 1 crore is not enough. To fight election in India, you need more than around 10 crore of rupees.
Well, if that's the case, we, the spiritual people, normally trust with the universe, with the Paramatma. And we believe there be somebody does the fraud thing, they will get punishment. In this case, why not that fraud people who made the mistakes, they are getting lots of benefit and they get chances. And in contrast, the honest people are not, like you said, even they didn't get the ticket for the political party. So how can we make them believe to other people those things?
Yes, very intelligent question. Yeah, very intelligent question. Yes, as a spiritual person, I tell you that there is perfect law and order in this universe. Evildoers automatically punished, and good doers are automatically rewarded. I am quoting Sripuri Baba, this is the quotation of Sripuri Baba. He has said that there is perfect law and order, and things happen automatically. Good doer will be rewarded, and bad doer will be punished. Now we have another conception of punishment and reward. We think winning an election is a reward, and we think losing an election is a punishment. It is worldly idea. No? Reward is if one can die peacefully, one can live peacefully, and if you can enjoy your food, if you are happy within, then that's the reward. And if you are in power, but always in crisis, always in tension, always taking medicine to sleep, and never at peace, never at rest, and at the time of death, what you will take with you? At the time of death, the death is a final judge.
Mm-hmm.
At the time of death, only good people die peacefully.
That's the reward.
Yes, that's the reward. They die peacefully and they go to the higher consciousness. They go to the higher state of being. And after death, the good people enjoy this life also. At the time of death, they accept the death also. And they die peacefully and with a smile on their face, no?
Mm-hmm.
Without any complaint, without any grudge. And after death, the real life is after death. Because this life is only 80 years or 90 years. No? This is not eternal life.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you have collected some money, by bad means, you will not enjoy even in this life. You will be always afraid.
Mm-hmm.
The tax people will come, or Maoist will come and ask for donation, or thief will come, or my family member will know and ask for the share. So the bad people who have earned money by bad means, they are always afraid, and they always have to hide money, and they cannot enjoy their money. So the final enjoyment comes to only good people, the people who it doesn't matter whether you lose election or win election. What is the quality of your life?
Well, Swamiji, that in this world everyone is seeking enjoyment, happiness and peace. So for this reason, for these things, that different philosopher gives different philosophy in different time. Like Buddha says, like the suffering, end of the suffering is the peace and happiness. Sigmund Freud said, like the sex, consume food and good sleep, good luxurious life is the end of sufferings, and there is a happiness. Karl Marx says, when the poor people establish their the government, their rulership, and this is the happiness. And in contrast, the Osho's that consciously consuming something is the happiness. But while we evaluate the Osho's philosophy, he left his body many decades before, and the Osho practitioner, Osho disciple are practicing their life, but still they have got some challenge to find the peace and happiness. So how can we justify the philosophy that you are carrying and preaching that will establish the peace in this society?
The Karl Marx utopia was that if there is a socialism and if there is a the rule of the poor people or Sarvahara, no? Dictatorship of Sarvahara, if there is there, then there will be happiness and there will be order in this world. That statement has been proved incorrect in Russia, in China, and in other communist countries, because this experiment has been made for 60-70 years, and this experiment was not made just by economical theory, just not as like a philosophy. People were forced to work in communes. Behind them there was gun. A lot of people were killed. You know, to establish communism, how many people were killed in Russia? And how many people were killed in China? I travel to Russia, I go to every part of Russia, and they told me the story, no? And the story of KGB, how people were suspecting, even the husband was suspecting that my wife may be the KGB agent, and sometime even son was KGB agent, and complained against the father, and father was put into the prison, and the prison was for lifetime, no? So, how much they have suffered in communism, that's why they throw away. And communism had utterly failed in the world. That experiment has utterly failed. And China, Deng Xiaoping had totally diverted the economy from communism to free economy, and that's why China has developed. So economically, Karl Marx has already failed. That philosophy has already failed.
But these things is happening even though other socialist or any democratic countries as well. So can we simply say that Karl Marx is failed in that region, or we can see some other perspective?
No, as far as communism is concerned, in the whole Eastern Europe, it was practiced. It was practiced in some of the Asian countries and Europe, but it has failed. And you can see the difference between North Korea and South Korea. South Korea has a free economy, North Korea has controlled economy. And North Korea only can make atom bomb, nothing. They can make only atom bomb and terrorize the neighbors. And they cannot make anything to export. They don't have enough food to feed their own people. So the control economics, which was the principle of the communism, that economy should be controlled by the state. The state becomes the greatest capitalist. The state becomes the greatest capitalist, and the state started exploiting people, because a state is much bigger a capitalist than the individuals. So what happened? The people who were in the power in Russia, in China, in Korea, North Korea, or in Fidel Castro country,
Cuba.
What happened? No, the people who were in the power, they were enjoying everything. Those were in the Politburo of the party. So there was another division: people who were in power and those who were not in power. The people who were in the power, they have every facility of their life, and those who were not in the power, they have to wait even for one-room apartment. They have to queue for a one-room apartment, 20 years, 30 years, they have to wait to get just a one-room apartment. Housing was a great problem. So economically, it has been proven, and the Deng Xiaoping has a great respect for that person, that he made a 180-degree change. 180-degree change, and made China a very successful country. So I have a great respect for Deng Xiaoping, and we need a leader like Deng Xiaoping in our own country, also in Nepal. So that one part of your question. The another part of your question is that what Sigmund Freud says, that if sex is free and people don't have suppression, people will be happy. That is also fall untrue, because in the West, in the America, in Europe, especially in a Scandinavian country, there is total liberty in sex. People can marry, even male can marry male, female. Lesbian marriage is also permitted. Prostitution is legalized. And they have given all sorts of freedom, sexual freedom. But still there is crisis, and more number of people commit suicide in Scandinavian country than any other part of the world. So Karl Marx has failed, and Sigmund Freud has also failed. Because they were thinking that only by changing giving the liberty, psychological liberty, sexual liberty, people will become happy. All Karl Marx was thinking that just making the equality, economical equality, people will become happy. This philosophy has totally failed. We have experimented it, and it has not brought any result.
Normally people feel that enlightenment has got only one state. When they reach in the enlightenment, they will free and they will not come back, and they are free from desire, ego, and all whatever the sensational desire. So what is your experience and in what state you are in right now?
Enlightenment is not that easy. A lot of people who claim that they are enlightened, 99% of them are making a false statement. They are not enlightened. The claim is not correct. I have met many sadhu, many masters who claim they are enlightened. I tell you, Bhimsenji, 99% of them are not enlightened. Only 1% is enlightened. Enlightenment, final enlightenment, which Buddha has attained, which Osho has attained, which Krishna has attained, is a very higher stage. It is terminus of consciousness. There is no way to go above that stage. So it is very, very rare. So first thing I would like to tell through your media, through your TV to audience, that beware of the people who claim that they are enlightened. All the people who make their claim, 99% of them are false, because they don't understand what is enlightenment. They think they have some power. If you practice some meditation and you discipline your mind, you will gain some power, like power of reading others' thought, or power of materializing watch out of the hand. No? And people think this is enlightenment. It is not enlightenment. It is simply magic. So enlightenment is much higher state. Just to make it clear to the audience, I would like to explain you that you can understand better if I explain you this way, that it has 4 stages. The first realization is world realization. Unless 99% people don't have world realization. They live in the world, but they live unconsciously in the world. They live blindly in the world. Unfortunately, I have to tell you that most of the people, they live in the world, but they are not conscious about their living. 99% people, only 1%, maybe more, less than 1%, people are living consciously. Other people are just blindly drifting. Whatever the society says, whatever their parents say, whatever the fashion.
Society.
So they are just drifting. So 1% people live consciously, little bit consciously. So if you live consciously, then you will realize that this world is full of misery, and it promises happiness, but it does not give happiness. Worldly people who live totally worldly life, it's very difficult to become happy by living just worldly life, unless you have a spiritual dimension also, and some other psychological dimension also. Just by material wealth cannot give you happiness. And this world is a house of pain. The Jivan Dukkha, Buddha, whatever Buddha has said, that is a misery. To live in the body is a misery. People who realize, they are called world realized. We call them world realized. Buddha also, before leaving the house, his first realization was world realization. He saw that there is a death, there is a sickness, the old age, and all these things being misery. And my body will also become sick, and it will also become old, and I will also die. He was intelligent enough, so he realized. People, we see everything, every day people dying, but we don't consider that I will also die one day. Every day we see people sick and very difficult to walk without the support of others. But we never think that I will also achieve to that stage. They don't realize. So this realization is world realization, first realization. Unless you have world realization, you cannot move upward.
One more thing, Swamiji. The Buddha says like it's a suffering, life is suffering. But in contrast, the Osho himself says that life is celebration. It's an opportunity. It's a fortunate to born as a human being, that we cross so many animals and other beings. So isn't it the happy life than other life?
It is a privilege to be a human, to get a human body. After passing through so many species and so many pattern of life, like animal, tiger, monkey, tree, we have got this human body. So it is a privilege, because from this body only freedom is possible. Moksha or nirvana is possible only from the human body. So it is a privilege. But if you don't live a spiritual life, just living a material life, you will make your life miserable. Life becomes misery. So this is the first realization, that life brings pain and misery. And there is no way. Life promises happiness, but everybody die frustrated and everybody die empty-handed. They can't take any pleasure or any happiness or any position with them. That is first realization. Then comes, I have realized that. That's why I am serious about spirituality. Then the second, a lot of people, 99.9% people are not realizing this.
So you are among 1% that you realize the world.
0.11%. I said 99.99% does not realize that this material life promises so much, but it cannot give you contentment.
And second is state?
Then second is, after the world realization comes the mind realization. Then you realize that this world is nothing but a projection of your mind, projection of your thought. We call it in Hindi, Jaisi Drishti, Vaisi Srishti. The way you think, you create your own world. So we don't live in the same world. We are here, so many people in this room, but we live in different world. Everybody has a different world. Because that is our projection. Maya, that's called Maya. Mind is Maya, and we project, we live in Maya. We don't live in reality. Nobody lives in reality. Only spiritual people live in reality. 99.999% lives in illusion. Maya is illusion. People live in illusion. And mind creates the illusion. No? And mind creates your world. So you live in a private world. We don't live in Sydney. In Sydney you have created your own world. I have created my own world. She has created her own world. We live in our own Sydney. So that is mind realization. I have realized that I create my own world and I make my life miserable or I make my life happy. It is my responsibility to make it happy. That is second realization. Then comes the third realization, is self-realization. Self-realization, when you come above the Maya, Maya is ever changing, illusion is ever changing, and it promises but it never fulfills the promise. So when you find out some scent or real scent, Maya is ego. You think your mind and your ego think that you are superior and you can do so many things and you have so much power. But it's all illusion. People don't have any power. Actually, they don't have any power. Only God has power. Existence has power. So when this illusion, you come out of this illusion and you come out of your ego on your mind, then you have third realization, that is self-realization. Then you realize that you are self, you are Atma, you are center, you are being, and you come again and again in this body, but your being remain unaffected by life and death. And there is a center within you, and if you know how to live with your center, you are always blissful, you are always happy. When you relate with others, others will never behave according to your expectation, but your own being, you can be always restful in your own being. And people who have realized self, they are happiest when they are left alone. I have realized myself. I have self-realized. So I am happiest when I am left alone. Crowd always makes me disturbed. Although I enjoy friendship, I have good friends. I enjoy talking to you. But I will be happiest when I will go to my room and I will just look at Bhagwan, also picture, I will read some few lines or I will meditate, then I will be happiest. So I will give you the taste of self-realized people. People can boast that they are self-realized. They can give you a false statement. But the real taste is, a self-realized person is happiest when he is left alone. Crowd cannot make him happy.
So in what state do you think you are?
I am in a self-realized state, so I am happiest when I am left alone. But I tell you that I have not attained the ultimate nirvana. The nirvana is when you realize that you have the same self which other people have, which animal have, which tree has, and we are having the same life. When that's we call God realization or cosmic realization. When you realize that everything is me, and God is within me, and God is within you, and God is within this tree, and God is within this dog and this cat. Everything is God. Everything is one life. That realization has not happened to me. I said, I must be true. So still I call myself a student, because I have not achieved that MA degree. That is the master degree in spirituality, when you attain to nirvana. And there are only very, very rare people attain to nirvana. There are a lot of people there. They claim that they are attained, but they make false claim. Out of 1,000 people who make claim, maybe only one, or even less than one, maybe actually. Even if there are 200 people who have attained the nirvana, they will change the whole society. That was the statement of Gurdjieff, and that statement is from Vivekananda and Swami Osho, and many masters have said that if there are 200 people who have really attained to mukti, nirvana, or God realization, their presence will make this world a paradise. There are not 200 people.
But Swamiji, that in this world the problem is action and war. People say that one thing, but in practical life they have got different thing. Even we can see most of the spiritual leaders, they have got a nice dress, long hair, and a lot of things, popularity, and they say like saint and yogi. But in many cases they fail to their attachment sometimes. Somewhere they have got attachment with publicity, somewhere with some other ego. And even though also always blame to other spiritual leader, they are in the name of religion, they corrupt, they live the luxurious life. But finally, he also lived that luxurious life. So how can we